Okay. All right. On to you know what's weird? That was supposed to be like the non-brain rot section. That was supposed to be like right before the brain rot. So this is the brain rot section. YouTube autistic goth wizard King Cobra. I was looking for some different lolcows besides Chris and Daniel Larson, and I found this one by Turkey Tom 9 days ago. I don't really know anything about this person. As always, all I know is that Turkey Tom is probably going to bring some good people, not good people, but some good stories to light about bad people. Yeah, I didn't really follow a lot of celebrities back. I still don't follow a lot of celebrities. I really follow like celebrity activity.
Give her a kiss. Really, Sean? Yeah, come on, give me a kiss, big boy.
This is that. Fuck. Gotta commit to it. This is what I be doing off stream. This is what I be doing off stream. Yep. Yep, that's me. Smooching and gooching. Send it to my DMs. I don't even know if I can play the audio on the stream. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Wait, on what? What'd you send to me on? Instagram? Twitter? Discord? Facebook? Snapchat? TikTok? Sat there, typed it out, pre-read it, and hit send. This is why I keep the chat on the screen, so when I put it into a video, people can see exactly what's going on. Oh, okay. Alright.
Streaming your life falling apart is hardly rare
Actually,
nowadays,
Jay.
but King Cobra did it before it was cool. When he's not getting down and dirty with his plastic wife.
Oh, baby, I'm sorry, your wig came off again.
He's live on YouTube, boozing in his filthy apartment.
God damn it!
And carelessly oversharing the grimiest details of his life.
I'm so good at guitar, it's a wonder I'm not swimming right now.
Actually, me. That's the smallest guitar I've ever seen. Bro got a ukulele. Canine cookie type beat.
While other people have things like shame and common sense, Cobes has goth boy swag.
Why is it, YouTube, that women and men are treated
This is every goth person that was goth in middle school. This is them now. Collectively.
differently when it comes to dry spells?
I just wonder if it'll stop his liver from
Spell
failing.
reference?
I poured some vodka.
Where's
and
the
then
honey?
Just calm down. Yeah, you calm down. Gonna. Oh my God, Sean.
Okay, so for like the past few days, I haven't been on Discord. I've been like taking a, not like a break, but I just haven't been on Discord. This has been me. This has been me every day, talking to myself. Yapping to myself, because I have no one else to yap to. I'm so alone.
Cobra, real name Joshua Saunders, was born on March 26, 1991 to Clint and Laura Saunders in Casper, Wyoming, with underdeveloped lungs, so he had to be placed in an incubator. According to him, his childhood wasn't easy. When he was an infant, his mother refused to breastfeed him and fed him baby formula instead, which supposedly caused him rectal bleeding. He also got
Something didn't add up. I'm pretty sure that Jersey, what happens when you eat baby formula?
diagnosed with ADHD very early on, resulting in both his parents pushing him quite hard. Apparently,
What? Okay, I have ADHD, and I never understood why everyone's like on it, like, you know what I mean? Marked by an I don't know. I'm not showing up. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder (ADHD) is marked by an ongoing pattern of inattention and/or hyperactivity, impulsivity, and interferes with functioning or development. Y'all like how I got that word hyperactivity right first try though, and impulsivity. I got it right. I can't do it the second time, but I got it right the first time. That's the part that matters. Is it a disability or mental illness? It's considered a disability? From now on, I'll take no responsibility ever again. You have a problem with me? It's the ADHD. Bro, y'all can't make fun of me. It's the ADHD. If y'all make fun of me now, you're actually ableist. You're ableist, and I'm telling Twitter. You're cooked.
Due to the fact they blamed themselves for his condition. Not long after his birth, his parents went through a rough divorce, leading to a custody battle between the two, causing him to move around a lot during his childhood. He first lived in Miles City, Montana from 1992 to 1993, and the only thing we know about this period is that his father owned a gymnastics club there. After that, Josh moved twice to North Dakota and California respectively. Maybe as a consequence of the divorce, Josh developed a strong dislike for his mother due to her forcing him to go to church, seeing as she was an ardent Christian. Eventually, as she was about to lose custody of him
I mean, I'm so fortunate that my family did not force me into religion. They just kind of let me believe what I want to believe. But it is so interesting that is his hatred for her.
Entirely, since she had other unspecified issues.
What happened at church? And does it have anything to do with the rectal bleeding? I sent the audio to your TikTok. Are you serious? You for real? I'm mute my mic right now and open it. Oh my god, what am I about to listen to? Also, apparently Nikki was the one who leaked it. Minaj? Oh, Nick? Okay. What the fuck? What the fuck did I just listen to? What the fuck did I just listen to? Oh, god damn. Oh, also, a TMI moment, you know? Yeah, I like to share my personal information with you guys. But, you know, I've been sick these past few days, and today I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling like I'm on top of the world. And I woke up this morning with the meanest shits. So I think that's a sign of me cleansing my body and getting it right. So, you know, I'm back to being nice and healthy because I took a mean shit. So thank you. I appreciate all the rounds of applause you guys are probably giving me right now. I appreciate it.
She tried to bribe Josh with candy and clothing, but all this did was make him dislike her even more. In 1996, Clint got full custody, at which point he remarried. Together, they moved back to Casper. From kindergarten, Josh was different from his peers, claiming he already spoke at a 5th grade level, which made him feel detached from the other kids who were still learning their ABCs. Despite this, he was held back by a year since he hadn't developed his social skills enough. He later found out this was due to another mental ailment he was suffering from, Asperger's. Things didn't get much better once he advanced to grade school, with Clint, now remarried, still moving from one state to another quite regularly, making it even harder for him to integrate. Throughout school, he got relentlessly bullied for his generally odd behavior, reaching its boiling point in the 4th grade when at one point, the bus driver had to intervene due to how intensely other kids were harassing him. This
one time? Hell, bus driver for real, like, bro, get involved. Put a stop to it.
Did nothing at all to curb his odd tendencies though, since it was around this time he discovered his lifelong obsession, cobras. It began when he played an educational computer game called Buzzy the Knowledge Bug, and it got even more intense when he started watching Steve Irwin's Crocodile Hunter show, specifically the Spitting Cobra special. He even saw an actual cobra once when he and his family lived in South Dakota, and they took him to the reptile gardens.
I remember when I was in elementary school, they brought this big ass boa constrictor like that. What is that, the yellow one? The yellow snake? The big yellow one? They brought that to my school. For some reason, and God, he picked me out the crowd and to hold this big ass snake. Mind you, I'm probably 30 pounds soaking wet, and he chooses me to carry this big ass snake that's double my body size, and I'm sitting there holding it like, if he bit me, Jaw around my entire face. It's around my entire face. U.S. Wait. Want us to be stupid so we can buy shit. What? Wait, what? What's happening?
Completely unaware of what this meant for Joshua's developing mind. Josh eventually stopped getting bullied once he got put in special ed classes and started riding the short bus to school. He fit in well with his new classmates, even making a few friends, one of whom was a deaf kid whom he taught to flip people off. Just like the harassment didn't stop him from pursuing his weird interests, it also didn't put a dent.
Hey, that could have been Daredevil. They could have been best of friends.
His confidence, as he frequently made attempts at talking to girls. Sure, they often ended up with him getting flat out rejected, but it never slowed him down whatsoever.
I've had over 1,000 rejections in real life, 2,000 rejections online, so that's 3,000 rejections total.
This led to an incident in junior.
Like, I know they say, like, you're supposed to, like, you know, take it to the chin, you know, just kind of move on. If I got rejected 3,000 times, I stop asking. I'll just stop asking. I don't mean it like that. Fuck! I don't mean it like that. I'll just stop asking. I mean, like, I would stop approaching women because I wouldn't want to get rejected anymore. That's me, though, personally. God damn.
High when his friend introduced him to a special needs girl who was roughly the same age as him. When they had some alone time, Josh's intrusive thoughts got the best of him.
Okay, hold up. Let me reinvent this shit. I whipped out my and started.
This was just one of the.
What the fuck did he say? What did he say that could last that long? Pause.
The many manifestations of Cobra's hormones being out of control, so much so his father began actively trying to hamper his behavior towards women.
Hey man, some days, man, I can be a little dog, be a little animal, be a little chihuahua, you know what I mean? That is that masculine urge in me. I mean, I didn't do nothing like that bad, you know what I mean? But
at some point, Josh begged his dad to buy him a copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Clint resisted at first, but eventually
we all had that moment in life where we was like, especially when Zootopia came out, we all had that one moment in life, okay? All right, don't act like you didn't, okay? Because I may not be God, but He can see your sins, and lying is a sin. I think. I don't know. I didn't read the Bible, but I'm pretty sure it is. So go ahead and fuck up your chances of getting to heaven. Go ahead, come see me down in hell. I dare you.
Rented and bought a copy, only to watch Josh play it for a few minutes and instantly become horrified at the things he was doing to prostitutes in-game. He banned Josh from playing, and this time, no matter how much Josh begged and pleaded for it, Clint held his ground, perhaps in fear of what kind of behavior that could incentivize. In all fairness, as backwards as it is to believe that video games can make you a criminal, with Josh's tendencies, I can't really blame Clint for doing this, though I have no idea how much it helped, or if it even helped at all. While in North Dakota, Clint signed Josh up for a church function field trip where he was supposed to meet other kids. While on the trip, he met a girl named Alicia Rhodey. He immediately fell head over heels for her and bought her a 50-cent purse from a vending machine. However,
what the fuck? First off, a vending machine? Second of all, 50 cents? The hell? Where's inflation? Where are you?
she didn't accept the gift and just left it on a table. Josh didn't understand why she had left it, and assuming she'd forgotten it, he picked it up and brought it to her. Put off by his insistence, she told him she had a boyfriend. The bag had quite literally been fumbled with Alicia, but again, Josh just kept on trying to attract other girls. One of the main ways he tried to seduce them was chocolate-flavored Axe body gel. That is, on the odd...
You know? Look at all they have to do to replicate just 1% of our power. Or some shit like that.
Occasions when he would shower at all. According to his father, Josh developed a strong aversion to hygiene and often completely refused to shower or groom himself in any way. His aversion...
Well, why'd you want him to groom himself? That's pretty gross, Turkey Tom. Why'd you even want him to do that, you sicko?
Was even stronger when it came to oral hygiene, which, along with his obsession with cobras, eventually caused the bullying to make a comeback. In middle school, he and one of his friends formed a joke cult in which Josh was the leader. The cult was represented by the colors black and green, his favorite colors, and it was at this point he first took up the nickname King Cobra, which he's used ever since. This joke cult eventually got fleshed out into a pseudo-religion, and its peak cringeworthy goth kid drivel.
We were the Cobra demons. If we ever got any girlfriends, we'd be our Cobra angels, you know? I had my own religion. I I still believe in it somewhat. My own god, goddess, and their son, Copachin, and his wife Copadicius, and their son Copero. They are, you know, it's just something I believed in. Still do, kind of.
Later down the line, Josh admitted that
Like, I honestly don't believe anyone should be judged for being goth. I don't think anyone should be judged for liking to do witchcraft. Right? You do you. But we can all agree that's cringe. Like, you can still say it's cringe without judging them, right? Right? We can still be there. We can still be on that path. Cause what the fuck?
Harry Potter was the inspiration for a large portion of his religion, which isn't that surprising. It even got to the point where he was planning to write a book about the religion, but unsurprisingly, it never materialized.
To be real, okay. Crystal people, and witchcraft people, they are equally as bad. I mean, like, really, they are equally as bad. Because it's like, crystal people, they'd be like, no, actually, I say spell people are worse. Because spell people got, like, a level of arrogance to them. Like, they'd be like, I'm gonna cast a spell on you. Wait till I get a new pack of honey. You're done, you know? And then crystal people like, oh, you don't believe in this? Well, guess what? Bad chakra for you, dickhead. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like they're equally as bad. If not, I say that the witchcraft people take a little bit of an edge. You know, it's like this like, oh, I'm edgy. I like witchcraft. I'm edgy. Ooh, booga booga. It's like the King Hill episode. Yeah. I probably know exactly which one you're thinking about. I probably just don't remember what it's about.
While he wasn't always creating new religions, he was always seeking out new hobbies. He ended up joining a wrestling team, also in junior year, although he didn't stay there for very long, as in his own words, the sport was too gay for him, with another complaint being the fact
Hey, I don't know too much about wrestling, but I saw these dudes get in back shot position. I'm cool. You know, I saw them get into full-on back shot position, and that was enough for me. I was like, okay, man, maybe this is a little bit sussy.
Didn't use his glasses during spars, which left him completely blind. However, his hatred for the sport was likely compounded by a couple of incidents he had in the locker room. According to Josh, he had an unusual amount of hair, and it could be seen when he wore his wrestling gear. Speaking of Josh's balls, a girl named Demi started hitting him in the jewels around the same time. Due to his upbringing, Josh refused to retaliate since his assailant was a girl, and because of this, the nut smacking went on for months. This got so bad.
I will allow a woman to hit me the balls up to 3 times before I retaliate. Right? I feel like that's fair. That's fair, right? That's completely fair, right? If a woman hits you in the balls on purpose 3 times, and each time you give them a warning, you know, that 3rd time you gotta at least get a little hit back, just a little hit back, you know, because now you're endangering my future. You're endangering my future children, and I can't let that slide.
Bad that his parents begged the girl to stop doing it, to no avail. Josh, being the hopeless romantic he is, started to believe she was doing it because she had a crush on him. Then, one day, he finally struck back by throwing her to the ground and declaring, "I'm tired of people hitting me in the nuts!"
That's fair.
After this outburst, Demi never smacked him in the nuts ever again.
It works.
With him abandoning wrestling, Josh started to focus more on music. Ever since he was young, he had developed a keen obsession, leading him to buy his first guitar when he was 12. In junior high, he discovered Cradle of Filth, a gothic metal band from England. He fell in love with the sound and showed it to his father, who was rather disturbed by what he heard. Clint proceeded to try and convince Josh that bands like that make you a Satanist, using some kind of study he found that claimed goths are, in fact, devil worshippers. Joshua was—
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's like particularly true. You know what I mean? Like, for example, just because I listen to gospel doesn't mean I'm gonna go to church. You know, music is music. We listen to have fun.
Link his dad to an article debunking this, which led to Clint apologizing. With his hobby getting vindicated, Josh started to lean more heavily into the goth aesthetic, trying his best to dress and behave in a way that fit the identity.
That right there would have made me not apologize. Bro's drawing a pentagram on his forehead, and it looks like a emo Ronald McDonald. Yeah, I would take back the apology.
At the same time, his longtime crush, Alicia, took the same art class he did, and his interest in her slowly became an obsession. Alicia regularly bullied him in front of her friends, but this did nothing to hinder his advances. Often she came to school wearing revealing clothing, and in Josh's mind, she was signaling to her friends to watch while showing off to him, and then berating him for staring at her. He interpreted this as a very elaborate way to seduce him, which he saw as proof that she liked him. Alicia basically had no way out. Even her rejecting him was reinterpreted as a kind of invitation by Cobes' delusions. years. When he left Valley City, he continued to stalk her on social media. When he saw that she had entered a Hooters beauty competition, he used black magic to cast a spell to make her win. The actual result...
This is the shit I'm talking about. Now watch her not win, and he find an excuse on why it didn't work.
Of the spell is not known, however. After he changed schools, the bullying was picked right back
We don't
up.
get to know what
And
happened.
This time, Josh started taking it out on another special needs kid called Carl, who was trying really hard to be his friend. For whatever bizarre reason, he deeply irritated Josh, who lashed out.
I hate that guy, dude. That guy's obnoxious.
That's so
that guy is
sad.
lucky that I didn't kick his ass when I was in school. Seriously, I was that close to doing it. That's how annoying he was. At least I have a dad that loves me. That kid didn't have a dad at all.
Okay, I mean, like, okay, bro, you know? Alright, cool beans. Cool beans. He didn't have a dad. Cool. That's cool.
That loved him. That his dad would make fun of him all the time, and it made me smile just thinking about it. I remember one time my dad was like, Josh, you need to quit picking on Carl, because his dad picks on him and bullies him, and it's not right. And don't tell him I said this. I'm like, okay, but my fingers were crossed the whole fucking time.
One day,
Oh, Ricky? Why is Ricky here? I don't care. But that sucks, bro. That does suck. Because I could imagine Carl was like, hey, man, I just want to be your friend. It's like, shut the fuck up, Carl! It's like, aw, Carl.
as he saw Carl approaching him, Josh hugged a girl that Carl liked, which led him to take a swing at Josh, but he missed. Josh threatened to punch him back, but the principal broke them up and sent Josh to the office. Sure, he got in trouble because of this, but the part that really stung was that his parents said he should be friends with Carl since they were so much alike. Josh recounts this as a breaking point for him when he completely let go of who he once was and embraced his new persona, Gothic Cobra. By the tail end of high school, Josh's grades had plummeted, and he was close to failing his last year. The only thing that prevented that from happening was Clint threatening to ground him if he failed to graduate. Surprisingly, this worked.
I mean, I'm gonna be real. I was a lazy student. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't try at all throughout any of my years of high school. I was gonna fail my last year, but then COVID happened. So thank you, COVID. And they were like, hey, pass this test and we'll give you a piece of paper that says you're a graduate. I was like, bet. Quizlet. Passed. GG. Good aim.
Worked exactly as intended and made Josh study hard in the weeks leading up to his finals, culminating in his graduation. Soon after finishing high school, Josh decided to move out, looking forward to no longer having to meet anyone's standards of basic hygiene.
Oh, those
At
are
this
peps.
point, he had
I
already
know
been
those
uploading
colors.
to YouTube, under the name Gothic King Cobra 52, having begun in June 2010 while still living with his dad. In these videos, he only ever referred to himself as Gothic King Cobra, and most of the videos were music related. He started-
You know, well, I didn't even think about this. You know what would have been so fire? If Carl's mom got with Josh's dad, and then they would have been like a little Disney sitcom where they would have to like learn to be friends and then be brothers. Disney, I'm giving you ideas, man. Tell Walt, unfreeze Walt and tell him what I just said.
a series by the name of Guitar Insight, which mainly served to show off his guitar skills, although he ended up talking about pretty much whatever topic was on his mind. It was very clear from the get-go that Josh was an unusual person. For example, he had a creepy ventriloquist puppet he got during his childhood that he kept, and eventually it started making appearances in his videos.
So, Sean, what do you think of Sarah Palin? I think she is a brain-dead who has no political knowledge. Just like those.
For the most part, the puppet was employed as an outlet for his spicier opinions, with an occasional side of self.
Don't do try it like that.
I took a Viagra, you took a Viagra, and I got a Woody.
Get it? Penis.
Get it?
It's about penis.
Wood. You're perverted. You're an asshole. Fuck you. Eat shit, quad. Hey. What?
The doll eventually got phased out, probably because it got swallowed into the messy hurricane that his living space was. Some speculate he stopped using the doll because he wished to be taken much more seriously as a cool, goth metal musician, though it's hard to tell what drives a man like Cobra. With Josh making it a point to emphasize his weird identity every chance he gets, this naturally attracted trolls, but the early internet variety, which mostly stuck to calling you names in the comment section and leaving it at that. This led to multiple videos dedicated.
Where are the Christian trolls? How come no one was like making them put stuff up its bum? I'm not saying I wanted them to do that, but I mean, like, you would think that there would be a lot more, like, they would divert their energy to other people and not just, I mean, maybe they were just focused on Christian around this time.
dedicated to simply responding to the trolls, usually through the entries to the Guitar Insight series.
I've been getting a lot of trolls in my channel lately, and I'm not giving them any attention. I'm just not, because that's what they want.
Oh my god, the bitrate's terrible.
All the trolls I've seen
I
thus
thought bro was
far
licking
on my
his
channel
lips.
have bashed me, my tattoo, and my guitar playing, awesome singing, etc., etc.
In trying to show up these trolls, he tells us of his earnest belief that one day he'll prove to all of them just how wrong they are, in a way only a true wordsmith could.
I'm going to delete it and just ignore it because you're not worth my time. And then go off and say that you'll never be a famous musician. Well, I will be, and when I do, I'll laugh at girls like you said I couldn't make it, so.
You know what? You know what? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I had people tell me, you know, you're not gonna be no fucking streamer. You're not gonna be no goddamn YouTuber. No. Right? But you know what? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna fucking try. Am I gonna succeed? Hell yeah. And then when I make it, I'm gonna have you guys as haters. So whatever he said.
Despite his lofty
you
dreams
just need a
of
little bit of
becoming a
work.
real
Little
musician,
bit of work.
he couldn't just live off of YouTube and neat bucks in the meantime. With the help of his dad, he signed up for the Job Corps, a program that helps young adults gain the skills necessary to find employment. This eventually landed him a job at Taco Bell, his first step towards moving out. Around this time, he released a video recounting his experience with Alicia. Part of what makes a lolcow is that the people who mock them don't actually have to do that much work in order to find out the dirt, and Josh is definitely a case of this. He gratuitously gave out a story in which he is clearly a weird cyber-stalking loser and excuses her disinterest in him due to him being goth, as opposed to the much more likely alternative, which is he probably stunk like a wet dog due to not taking showers or brushing his teeth. Notably, he also recalls how he tried to apologize to her for all this terrible behavior, admitting he was spamming every account he could to reach out to her and creating multiple dummy accounts, allegedly for no reason other than to apologize.
When I go to her Facebook page, it said add as friends, so I click on that thinking maybe it didn't go through correctly. And then I got blocked from her Facebook page. And the guilt was eating it.
What is the point of that little nail thing he has on? I remember I used to see it back like on Wish and like on like Temu. I used to see those a lot, like little like nail thingies. And I was like, man, like is that like does it have a purpose? Is it just jewelry? But if it's just jewelry, isn't that kind of like defeating the point? Because like you can't really like use it like, for like phone stuff. I don't know, like you know, play piano tiles or something.
At me, I mean, it was literally making me feel like like, okay, what the you know? Just recently, I created another Facebook account with my name that I'm not going to use, just to send her a message to say, hey, I'm sorry, you know, with a very sincere apology. And I'm hoping this guilt can get off my conscience, because quite frankly, I feel like for what I did to her. I really do.
However, it's worth noting that he learned from it and turned the story into a cautionary tale, telling everyone just how important it is to make sure you don't obsess with a girl so much that you start harassing her.
So yeah, that's just a great way to repel.
That's why I don't talk to women. Yeah, just don't talk to women, guys. Just play Elden Ring like me.
Chicks, if you want, you know, chicks to hate you, that's a great way to get that to happen.
While Josh had pretty thick skin due to already having withstood years of bullying in real life, he dealt with the trolling
That is
in
a
his own
thumbnail
strange
photo if I've
ways,
seen
one
one.
of which was flashing his fully erect dick. Of course,
Just happens every time with a lolcow. What is the conversion rate of like lolcows and showing their penis? Like what is that like? It's probably like every single time, right? I reckon every time I watch a lolcow, they show their penis. Is it me? Am I the problem?
the only thing he achieved was a 2-week ban on YouTube.
That's
he
it?
even made a brand new channel to infiltrate his troll community called Peach Monster 666, but only put up 2 videos on it before his main channel's ban was over, and he went right back to posting there. One of his early trolls succeeded at getting under his skin by using the name Gothic Queen Cobra 52 and claiming that he had plagiarized the name, to which Josh felt compelled to respond.
Guess what, YouTube? There's someone who's trying to be me. No, you know, there's this guy calls himself Gothic Queen Cobra 52 making fun of me, and I found it really cute. Aww. I'm like, oh, look at the cute little troll trying to be me.
You know, a lot of the times when well, not really a lot of times anymore, but when I first started looking at lolcows, right, I used to do this thing where I tried to be like very charitable and be like, you know what, maybe they're just on the wrong path. Maybe if like they went down the right path, they could have been a great person. I don't know. I don't know anymore, man. I think this changed me. This scarred me.
The last video on this channel was posted in July 2011, where he made the
Incredible.
rather baffling claim that he could create balls of chi energy. Not too long after, the channel was permanently deleted, with his father, Clint, posting a message on Facebook about how Josh had entered the Job Corps, meaning it's safe to assume that's why the channel was deleted. The Job Corps ended up being quite a formative experience for Joshua in more ways than one, with a lot of interesting stories from around that time. But of course, the most important ones concerned his love quest. One day, he talked to a girl named Amy, who told him that a friend of his felt attracted to him. Her name was Stephanie, and while Josh was initially hesitant to meet her, fearing she was ugly, he was surprised to learn she was quite attractive. They ended up starting a relationship, which led to Josh losing his virginity.
I was like, my eyes were focused on this line right here. She gave me a hand. Man, Tom, why didn't we talk about that part?
While on campus, he regularly smoked weed, which was against the Job Corps rules. When the campus board found out, they instantly kicked him out. Nonetheless, Josh was back to square one. He moved back in with his father, who threatened to give him a humiliating haircut if he didn't find a job within 2 weeks. He ended up getting that haircut as he didn't find any work in that given.
You know, it doesn't look bad. It looks like Dwight from The Office. It doesn't look that bad. He really does look like Dwight from The Office. The actor for Dwight, I'm so sorry. Please do not sue me or come here and kick my ass. I apologize. That was so disrespectful. But he does look like the character.
Time. While he still lived with his dad, Clint often confiscated the cords from his computer to stop him from making videos to motivate Josh to actually do something with his life. Eventually, this turned into a quasi-permanent ban on the use of electronics while he lived there, during which he went on a hiatus from content creation. This ended in August 2012 when he borrowed a friend's laptop to record a video announcing his electronics ban.
This is Gothic King Cobra with another video, and right now I'm borrowing a friend of mine, Chris's dad's computer for this YouTube video.
Around this time, Josh got a job at Wendy's, where his role was to keep the lobby and restrooms clean and fill up the teas. With that, he started building up some capital, which led to Clint helping him look for a new apartment. Eventually, around October, they found an apartment about 3 miles away from their home, which Josh fell in love with. He moved in, and this opened up the floodgates for a golden era of King Cobra content. In November 2012, he started the King Cobra JFS YouTube channel, which officially became...
How much was he making for Wendy's? Like, to get your own apartment and be able to live off of a Wendy's? That's interesting. It was probably back in the day.
His main channel and proceeded to upload the same kind of content. Stephanie herself occasionally showed up in some of the videos whenever she came to visit from the Job Corps. However, perhaps saying she's in them is disingenuous, as she usually just sat in the background and went mostly ignored, while Josh filmed for an hour. Some fans brought this up to Josh, highlighting how he wasn't treating her very well. So in response, Josh released a video.
I mean, to be fair, he's making a video, right? I mean, like, I would imagine if, like, there was someone here that was, like, sitting somewhere in the background, and I was, like, doing this, I would be doing this primarily, right?
That became a rather big meme of the era, as he extolled his virtues by telling us he'd treated her to a Hot Pocket.
Guess what? I just made Stephanie a Hot Pocket and got her some Dr. Pepper. How's a Hot Pocket, sweetie? It's 4 meat and cheese.
It's good.
Memes aside, this was arguably his most stable period. In late 2012, he released
I have Hot Pockets downstairs. I might make me a Hot Pocket later after this. I might cook me up a Hot Pocket.
videos where he counted his finances and accounted for his next rent payment.
I still have $373 left. Take $200 right here, put that down for next month's rent, and then use the rest of it for personal spending. And there's nothing wrong with getting help from the gas side. I think people are just jealous that they can't get it because... yeah.
But unfortunately,
for him, yeah.
you only know how
Nothing wrong
good
with
the
it.
good times were once they're gone. As 2013 rolled around, he quickly showed himself to be very, very bad at managing his life, spending loads of money on cigarettes, energy drinks, and unhealthy takeout food. He was so irresponsible that, at times, he spent an entire $400 weekly paycheck in a single day. Despite his financial woes, it didn't stop him from frequently eating out, one of his personal favorites being the buffet at Golden Corral. Around this time, Josh started sharing the apartment with a high school friend of his named Christopher Moore. Chris was unemployed and had little to no income at all, meaning he was effectively squatting in the apartment with Josh's consent.
He used to kick it out of his grandfather's house. I could be a prick and say, you know what, sleep in your van, whatever. That's more important. Fuck that. I'm like, you know what, dude, I got an apartment, I got a futon, you want to crash a futon, that's cool.
Being that he was always there, he often appeared in the videos released in this era. Josh had kept that fact a secret from his father for reasons that'll become apparent later. His behavior only got worse while he was...
I imagine his dad just didn't like the fact that he was crashing without paying, which is reasonable. Right, I understand like letting your friend like get out of a bad time by like staying there like periodically, but if he's gonna stay there long term, you gotta put out.
around Chris, resulting in him making some truly catastrophic decisions. One day, at Chris's behest, Josh drove Chris's van without a license to buy a stick of butter. On his way, he almost rammed straight through a police cruiser, which resulted in him getting stopped. When they realized he wasn't carrying a license, he received a hefty fine. However, an even worse decision came when Josh and Chris were having a small party together. While there, he and Chris spoke to a lady named Kayla, who offered to let Josh and Chris tag team her if they gave her a cigarette. Citing societal pressure to have multiple partners and his overconfidence, he did it, but regretted this action instantly. Though he only admitted that he'd cheated on Stephanie months later. When he did, Stephanie decided to forgive him and stay with him, which he proudly announced on Facebook. There were rumors
better than me
that Kayla might have an STD, but this was disputed by Josh himself, who eventually said that, while she didn't have any STDs, she was pregnant. While his relationship was stable, Josh's reckless spending only worsened, as he had seemingly abandoned the concept of saving money. One day, he walked into a pawn shop and tried to buy a guitar.
Guitar itself cost $503.98 with tax. I paid $400 for it, so I just have to pay $103.99. The guitar's mine.
It was through the purchase of this guitar that Clint discovered just how reckless Josh had been with money. As a result, he took the new guitar from Josh and brought it back to the same pawn shop, hoping to get a refund. However, he was unsuccessful, meaning Josh could keep the guitar for the time being. Back in January,
once you buy something from a pawn shop, that price depreciates. It's like driving a car. The more you take it out that pawn shop, it's going down by like 1,000.
he released a video titled "Times Are Getting Tough." In it, he admitted he wasn't making enough money to pay for rent, forcing him to dip into his savings account. He also seemed to at least somewhat recognize how bad his spending has been for him.
I had $200 at the beginning of the month. With the check, I would have saved that paycheck and spent it on tobacco and just alcohol.
Something about spending it on tobacco, I can kind of understand.
Or just not spending it all period and saved up, you know.
It's the ADHD in me that lets me understand them. It's that ADHD that programmed my mind.
Despite this, his spending habits never really improved. Since he turned 21, he started consuming a lot of alcohol, which became a hallmark of his channel. His money troubles weren't helped by the fact that Chris was actively refusing to do any work, with the only job he'd ever gotten being at Walmart, but he got fired shortly after due to him having accidentally cut his hand. Things got even worse when, while Josh was out of the apartment for a few days, Chris invited his brother and his dad for a bit of R&R, only for them to get into Josh's channel and upload a video of Chris's father playing Josh's guitar. The only evidence of this that remains today is a screenshot from the video, as everything else was deleted. This, along with other problems, led to the deterioration of their friendship, and while Josh refrained from confronting Chris about it, he complained in the videos whenever he was alone.
Chris got arrested. He had a warrant out for his arrest, and he'll be in jail till Monday. And Monday he has court. Yeah, so this is kind of like, seriously, dude? So Chris now has no job, no car, and he's in jail. Yeah. My all honest sincerity and hope is that Chris is doing some serious thinking right now if he's awake about what he wants to do with his life, because right now he's not in a good direction.
Eventually, Clint found—
It's so ironic that he can say that while also not being in a good direction. Well, I mean, I guess like you don't need to be like ultra looking in just to know. Bros know when to talk. No, but that's true. Like, you know, it is weird that he wanted to point that out, but he also is not heading in a good direction. Maybe, who knows? Maybe this makes him think about the direction he's going in. And then it's like a deeper level, because now I'm the person saying it, and I'm in the bad direction. So now I'm doing it too. I'm involved in it now.
Found out that Chris was freeloading in Josh's apartment and told Josh to kick him out, which Josh was probably happy to do.
That fat bastard really needs to go. He's abusing your kindness, Josh.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't look for a job. Not a single day.
You have to convince me. Damn, you gotta convince.
I'm gonna convince them shit.
Well, there you have it, YouTube.
It was around this time that Joshua started making cooking videos, which his channel would become known for. The first instance of this I could find was a series of videos of—
That's pretty true. That's pretty. He is in a turkey tom video, so it couldn't have been that good. We're only 22 minutes in, so we got like 30 minutes.
Him attempting to cook some potato stew. Every single step of the process was split into a different upload, from washing the potatoes in a bowl to peeling them, and finally, the stew mukbang. These videos got a lot of traction, for no other reason than the fact that no matter how hard he tried to cook something, it always—
Look at his fucking nails! Ew!
For no other reason than the—
Ew! Look at his fucking nails! Oh my god! Throw the whole soup away. Throw the whole potatoes away. We're watching YouTube's autistic goth wizard.
The fact that no matter how hard he tried to cook something, it always ended up looking like it would give you stage 4 stomach cancer. One day, Josh went out to go shopping at the same time he was supposed to be working, which delayed him going to work by about 5 hours. And what did he use that time to purchase? Beer and blue hair dye, which he showed us in a video made on the same day. In fact, he ended up dyeing his hair on camera, which has since become one of the most infamous moments in King Cobra JFS history, mostly because of how he'd botched the whole thing.
Oh, this guy. I've got Avatar. Holy shit.
Did he dye his mustache too? Holy fuck.
It's
Also me not on Discord. Anytime I'm not on Discord, but it says I'm online, this is me. That's currently.
At some point during winter 2013, he went on a short channel hiatus, only to return in force, releasing 2 to 3 videos every single day, most of which had titles like Random Video, Noon Video, and Night Video. These went on even longer than his regular content, resulting in viewers getting up to 3 hours of footage every single day. For the rest of the year, things stayed pretty stable, at least by Josh's standards. One amusing incident happened when Josh was cleaning the urinals at Wendy's.
I get to close my lobby, the urinal's overflooded, the plumbing's fucked, AAA's getting called in sometime today. Yours truly had to go in there with a cup and scoop out the water that was trapped on the urinal or in it. Gloves on and everything. Really gross.
Fuck that. I worked for Wendy's for 1 day. I worked at Wendy's 1 day, right? Wendy's, I love eating there. If you sponsor me, I'll say yes every single time. And I was working there, right? I was working at the register. I was learning how to do the register, right? Bro, black dude comes in, buff black dude comes in. He's mad, right? I just got here. I'm still meeting people. They still teach me how to do it. He's like, oh, so you think you give me this little amount of fries? I want the full thing. And I'm like, I thought he was joking. So like, I take the thing. And he's like, fill it up, man, before I come back there. And I'm like, this nigga serious? Nigga, you were mad about fries from a biggie bag. Is it that serious? Is it that real? Like, I couldn't believe it. Why are you mad at me? I'm on the... Even if I was there the whole time, I'm on the register. When would I have ever made contact with your fries? You tell me. It's like, god damn. I quit the same day. I was like, I'm not doing this shit. This blows. This sucks.
Scooped it into an empty a trash can. It was
better
empty,
than me.
Had a bag in it, basically. Got it out to the dumpster. Sanitized the fuck out of everything, you know, shit like that. So needless to say, it was not a fun evening, but that's why it's called work.
Eventually, Stephanie graduated from the Job Corps, allowing her to move in with Josh. At first, she didn't contribute much to the household, mostly just playing video games. But eventually, she got a job at McDonald's, which Josh proudly announced in a brief video titled...
So what is Job Corps? I thought Job Corps was like this like thing that gives you like an actual like career job and not like a... Like, hey, you know, get your money where you get it. But I thought it was gonna be like a, you know, get you like a job like construction or like some kind of business job or like, you know, some kind of like manager job or something that could, like a career, you know. I feel like you didn't need Job Corps to get a job at McDonald's or Wendy's.
Noon Video. 2014 was set to be a milestone year, since back in 2012, a channel by the name of Trapped began filming a documentary about him called Gothic King Cobra. The doc was mainly an interview with Josh over a couple of days, basically showing what he got up to in his daily life, including a visit
They never get you a job? Oh, okay.
to the mall, going to Spirit Halloween, and riding around town on a bike. As 2014 loomed, Josh started hyping up the documentary. It would eventually be released in February of that year, getting pretty decent views at the time. Soon after, he made a video to celebrate what he felt was a massive success at a time when the documentary had around 10,000 views.
We Google Gothic King Cobra documentary on YouTube. Come to find out it's got 10,000 views and 10,185 views.
His forehead looks so big, and I know I can't talk. I really can't talk. I got a fat ass forehead, alright? I get it. I truly do. But it just looks extra long. I don't know what it is. I think it's like his cheeks mixed with the dome, so it looks like a bean.
And a whopping total of 304 likes and 31 dislikes.
Unfortunately, this was about the only good thing that happened to Josh this year. For context, we'll need to introduce you to a man named Damien. Damien, from what I could gather, was the leader of a small sex cult whom Josh had met back in 2013. A member of his...
He looks like he owns a sex cult. Like I don't know too many guys that own sex cults, but if I did, this would be the guy. This would be him.
cult, Matt occasionally showed up during some videos, although unlike Chris, he never actually lived with Josh. Initially, there were suspicions that Matt was trying to induct both Josh and Stephanie into Damien's little cult, although how legitimate those claims are, I can't say. Nonetheless, Damien stuck around in some capacity for quite a while, with him and Josh being at least decent friends. But things took a sudden turn for the worse a few months after Stephanie entered the workforce when she confessed to cheating on him the day prior. In the video, he explained that she had initially come to him with a proposal that they should have a threesome, either with another guy or another girl. Josh turned her down, and as a result, she cheated on him.
You turned down with another girl? What?
And with Damien. Stephanie's cheating left
With the Damien? Aw. I mean, he can't really be mad because he cheated too. You know what I mean? But if he didn't, I would have crashed out.
Josh in a raw state, especially since he had no grounds to get mad at her for it, since he'd also cheated on her before and she forgave it. Though they initially stayed together, they officially broke up on July 4th, 2014, about a week after the infidelity had come to light, which was revealed in a mildly unhinged video titled Happy 4th of July. In the video, he says that the breakup came as a consequence of a joke he made about struggle snuggling Stephanie, which made her so mad she ignored him for days. His explanation for it was that she'd been asking him to be more kinky, and this was his way to begin playing into what she asked for. He didn't have the healthiest response to their separation.
Certified entry network technician. She might have gotten all her shit, but she didn't get her little certification. Now, I could smash this, but I think I found something to shoot my shotgun with.
It took a while until Stephanie spoke out and gave.
I mean, hey, they cheat on each other. This is a toxic relationship. At that point, floodgates are open. You know what I mean?
Her side in a video released on a now deleted channel.
Part of me breaking
Terrible
up
angle.
with Josh was because, yes, I cheated on him. He cheated on me too, but when he cheated on me, he told me like months later. I had more respect for him and told him the next day. Another part of it was,
Yeah, you know, but it lacks respect when you cheat in general. You know what I mean? You can't be like, I had respect for him after I cheated. It came back to me once. After he busted, then the respect came back. You know what I mean? That's not really how that works.
I was going through a lot of changes in opinion because at the moment my self-esteem was going up, like way up, so I was realizing things about myself. I was becoming awakened in myself, which is something a lot of people in this day and age need, but it's very difficult to get that. Another part of it was he kind of threatened a friend that it happened with, but he also kind of threatened me in a way. I get he was trying to be joking and, you know, kinky or whatever, but at the same time, when he said that, I wasn't sure if I should take it as a joke or take it seriously. I took it seriously and I left.
That was the end of Josh's first real and arguably the most normal relationship to date. Pretty quickly after the breakup, he started looking for potential romantic prospects, and after briefly seeing a girl from his town, Josh tried to
Oh, damn. That nigga Damien got the... That's why his name's Damien. His name was actually Amian when he was born, but the doctor was like, damn! And then they named him Damien. That added the D to his name.
While Josh did mention getting an astounding 16 responses across his multiple dating profiles, it seemed that none of these women stuck around in the long term. He eventually lost hope and posted to Facebook, saying he expected to be stuck alone for the rest of his life. However, he would be proven wrong not too long after, since I expect
to be alone for the rest of my life, because women suck. That's right, I'm red pill now. Women suck, I hate women, boo, women, boo.
Around the beginning of 2015, he announced to everyone's shock that he had found a new girlfriend. Her name was Judy, and she was also from Casper and was a single mother of 3. Ironically, they met through Damien, which, given he had stolen Josh's last girl, is kind of amusing to think about. Judy appeared in a total of 2 of his videos, both of which came out on the same day, and many viewers thought she came off as rather strange. In the first video, she's in the background, occasionally interjecting to whatever Josh is saying.
You're such a nutcase.
Yes, but I'm your nutcase, dear.
I'll just tie you up and hang you up. Maybe, no, I'll tie you up and then hang you upside down later.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, that's cringe, but like, you know, I've been in relationships like that. It happens.
The second video came out a couple of hours after the first one, as Josh reads the comments on the last video asking for him to show off his new girl, which he obliged.
Hey YouTube. So last video I got a couple of comments saying, put her on camera, put her on camera. She's been looking to be on camera, you know, I ain't gonna hog off the camera, man.
Whatever, you fucker.
So...
What up, people?
People found her childish with a weird sense of humor.
I am a panda. But I'm also good. She's girl loves cupcakes. And waffles, and tacos, and burritos. Mission for the cupcake.
the way I want to put my entire cranium through the screen, like my entire front cortex through my monitor, it's insane.
The question of whether this weirdness of hers was complementary to Josh's was answered soon enough, as just over a week and a half later, Josh released a video titled, "I'm Single Again." He took a bit to get into the breakup, as he instead focused on a video about a pastor punching a child in the chest because he didn't believe in Christ the Lord. But eventually, he does get it out that they broke up, as well as getting into some of the reasons why that's probably good.
Say she cheated.
When I was took you grocery shopping, other women were checking me out. Oh, he's got a kid now. Oh, it's so cute. And after about 4 or 5 days of it, continuous, for almost 2 weeks of it. It's just too small an apartment anyway, and if I had the money to raise kids, you know what I'm saying? Kind of explain myself there on that one.
There are a couple more scattered.
I mean, reasonable. You know, if we are to believe that's the truth, that he got into a relationship and he realized that he couldn't handle having kids, right? Because she said she had 3 kids. Yeah, so that would be a lot for him to take on. I can understand.
Comments throughout the video, and the general impression is that he's the one who broke up with her.
Don't get me wrong, like I said, I still love and care for Judy, but she needs somebody in her life who's ready to have kids, you know, who's going to treat her right.
If that's the truth,
While
then
the
that's fair.
split was far more amicable than the one with Stephanie, this habit of getting into relationships and breaking up immediately after is one that Josh maintains to this day. Throughout 2015, he continued to...
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. I probably shouldn't be aligning myself with so many of his things, but I do the same thing. You know, sometimes I get into a relationship and I'll go, you know, I'll date them and I'll be like, you're not really someone I want to be with. You know, I'm not really interested in you. Like, there's some quality, because like there's like this there's always this phase when you go to talk to someone where they put, and it's a normal thing, where they put their best traits out, right, and not normally touch on their worse or lesser traits. But you know, when you get to a relationship and then those traits start to show, you kind of can be like, you know, not all traits are bad enough to break up, but some traits are. You know what I mean? I tend not to waste time a lot. I also broke up with someone because they had kids. That's fair. That's fair if you weren't ready. I feel like it's reasonable to not be ready to have kids, especially if someone already has kids. Because being a stepdad, I imagine, would be a lot. I mean, I've never been a stepdad. God forbid. You know, shout out to those stepdads. Shout out to y'all.
Look for girls
Could be
using
me,
the
though.
same dodgy dating sites. He kept receiving pings from girls that just seemed too good to be true, making him consider going premium.
A couple women who are most definitely interested in me. The only problem is I don't have the money to upgrade to the premium access.
The kid was talking to me about Naruto. I couldn't deal. I mean, you know, that's one of the biggest issues, like building a bond with those children, and then you know, you guys break up, and now there's a new level now, because not only are you leaving this person, you're also leaving the kid. So you know,
which kind of pisses me off.
Eventually, he ended up using OkCupid, one of the most legit dating sites out there. This is when he was approached by an emo girl named Bleak Rainbow, who happened to be in love with Cradle of Filth, which, if you remember, is his lifelong favorite band. But soon after they began talking, he grew suspicious of her, and in response, a YouTube account with her name started posting some mildly unhinged videos. Amusingly, Josh responded to her in the comments on the last 2 videos, and he seemed convinced. However, he eventually changed his tune.
So I have a theory, YouTube, and call it gut instinct, but I believe the Bleak Rainbow is on YouTube or fake, but the one on OkCupid is the real deal.
what?
It didn't take too long for this saga to come to its natural end, as Josh opted instead to look for other potential girlfriends. In February, he found another one, Amy, although she only appeared in one of his videos where the sound was completely busted. As it turns out, Amy was a crack addict missing all of her front teeth, but
Guess you could say that really cracked him up, huh?
given his chronic lack of concern for dental health, it didn't bother Cobra too much. Regardless, he broke up with her within a day, even saying some pretty nasty things about her on video.
Wow, Amy, you're such a liar. I'm going to kill myself now before someone else kills me. That's what Amy just texted me after I deleted her number. See, that's the kind of trauma I'm talking about, right there. Bitch interrupts me in the middle of a fucking vocal cover. You know what, Amy? Fuck you psychotic drama-causing
Guess you can say there was a crack in the relationship. I'm sorry, that's honestly the last one.
From this point on, his hunt for women became more and more desperate. In his own words, he was falling into a bit of a dry spell, with his dating apps going pretty much nowhere. So, he employed the help of a brand new friend, William Hackman, also known as...
He looks like a slightly better Cyrax. Whoops. That's what I get for talking about him.
Homeboy Scotty. Scotty would appear in several of Josh's videos, and Scotty eventually introduced Josh to a girl named Jess, who was a bartender.
Smoking hot girl talking to me on Facebook. Her name is Jess, and she's a bartender. I'm definitely looking forward to meeting her. Apparently she found my profile and she found me attractive, and she hit me up on Facebook, and we've been chit-chatting back and forth.
Initially, he was supposed to meet her at a party. It's not clear if he ever went, but he talked about her in the following videos, trying to set up a meeting with her through Scotty. He released multiple videos of him talking about his excitement.
Yeah, like I said, she plays guitar, she listens to Cradle of Filth, she smokes a pipe like I do, and she has Asperger's. I mean,
oh, hey.
What are the fucking odds?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
After this date fell through, he proceeded to try to set up another one, although this time her name suspiciously changed to Bailey. Despite it being quite obvious to everyone this was all a lie, Josh didn't want to believe that and defended Scotty from the commenters who accused him of just messing with Josh, clearly being in denial about Bailey not being real.
Some people even made accusations that my homeboy Scotty's name.
Are chokers supposed to be like just like a purely cosmetic thing, or is there some kind of part it plays? You know what I mean?
Bailey, and that's not true, because one, Scotty already has a girlfriend. See what I'm saying? And a lot of people are saying that Scotty's trying to catfish me. Also, that's not true, because Scotty's the one trying to set me up with this girl named Bailey. So autistic, in her 20s, and she plays the guitar. You know what I'm saying? Like,
eventually, Josh gave up on ever meeting this girl, although he never actually admitted to himself he was being lied to. Instead, when Scotty offered to set him up with another girl, Izzy, he fell for it all over again, dragging it out for multiple months.
Thank you, Kink Master. Thank you.
When I get paid next, I'm gonna take a cab and my homeboy Scotty with me, because my homeboy Scotty has a couple of girls that are interested in dating me. I take a cab over to one of his buddy's houses, and this female he's been having sex with, she has a roommate that's interested in dating me, so do what I can to meet her and stuff, because I'm tired of being single and miserably alone. It sucks.
Hey man, that's why I always say, you gotta find happiness within yourself before you go find it with someone else. You know what I mean? I'd rather be single and happy with myself than to be together with someone and miserable. All right, so you know, you can't go dating people just because you don't want to be alone. That's a bad look. Yugi and Yami were like dom and sub in one. Okay, yeah, that's actually pretty true though. Do you think when Yugi had sex, he would be like, man, she's not turned on by this, Yami, and Yami would be like, I got this, Yugi, switch out. Like, yeah. Man, do I love sitting here.
He eventually gave up on pursuing this chick as well, embracing his lonesome fate. This was a sign of the times, as over the course of 2015 and 2016, his life just slowly worsened. His work hours continued to get cut due to his poor work ethic, to the point where he could hardly afford anything on a salary. Being the financial whiz we know him to be, he decided to take out payday loans, which he then used to buy even more stupid like 2 pizzas.
How exactly these 2 pizzas and the
I'll be so real. There'd be some days where I'd be fighting demons. I'll be fighting a demon not to order a pizza. I'm so lucky that where I live right now, I ordered Domino's sometimes. Anyone that was on Discord when it happened, they know what I'm talking about. I ordered Domino's, right? Ordered online, everything went down cool. They called me. I thought they'd be like, oh yeah, pizza's on its way, or like, oh, there's like a complication with like the pizza's gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take a little bit. So I pick up like, hello, like, hey, you just ordered the pizza? I'm like, yeah. I'm just like, yeah, we can't deliver to you, man. What? Yeah, we don't deliver to your neighborhood. All right. Well, so I can't even get pizzas here if I wanted to. I'm just out of luck. But there'll be some days where I'll be fighting demons not to order a full-on pizza and just sit there and eat.
Drink, which came to about $14.50. I went down.
That's pretty cheap. Oh well, this is back then, because I was about to say ordering a Domino's pizza, like a single Domino's pizza, and like some like garlic knots is like $20.91, and that's with a coupon. Like, it's insane.
To the money loaner's place, they loaned me $15, and I owe them $20 on the 30th, so
What
that's
is that
not going to
fucking
be a
conversion?
problem to pay off.
It's in this same video where Josh first expressed his desire to get a sex doll. While he had been experimenting prior with the idea of being asexual, he's sadly just too horny to ever commit to the incel grind set. So, over the next few months, he pondered buying one, all the while being in a financial black hole he was too lazy to recover from. Eventually, he started a GoFundMe where he asked his fans to give him around $2,000 to get him that doll.
I was about to
However,
say, they be expensive, don't they? I mean, allegedly. I don't know.
it was removed just a day later, seemingly by Josh himself, who followed up with a video regretting making the GoFundMe in the first place.
Did his deck get bigger when he turned into Yami? Yeah, of course. He needs more room for his cards, duh.
Well, I felt bad having that GoFundMe account up online because people use that for actual legit stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got tired of begging people for fucking money. So I'm just like, fuck it, dude. I'm done.
Once again, he tried to commit to a life of celibacy
Why is this
until a
censored?
fan decided to send him a fleshlight. Josh didn't like this gift very much so that he ended up destroying it on camera. Of course, he used it once before he destroyed it, which then made him question whether he truly disliked sex or not.
Now, I will confess that I did use it as soon as I got it. It felt pretty good, you know, like, it was pretty good. You know, I can't decide if I like sex or not. That's the one thing.
Eventually, it seems these doubts were put entirely to rest as he started saving up in earnest for an actual doll once again. However, this attempt to save up was foiled when sometime in August, Josh released a video announcing that someone online contacted Wendy's management over his channel. Supposedly, they sent an entire email full of lies about him to get him fired, and within a few days, it succeeded and he lost his job. He had worked at
I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty fucked. That's pretty fucked up. I mean, so far we didn't see him do anything that deserved this treatment. Like, that's... Like, actually fucking with his livelihood, that's actually pretty sick.
Wendy's for almost 5
And not the
years at
good
this
way.
point, and it was the last stable job he ever had. Now, without income, Josh was forced to rely on SSI payments, which he successfully applied for. This, however, wasn't enough to allow him to save up for his doll, prompting him to go back to e-begging, though he once again rescinded his request for donations because it didn't feel right for him to do it. A lolcow with something resembling a conscience is a very rare specimen. Josh, being a savvy businessman, preferred to do it the old-fashioned way and provide a product for people's money, and he did so in the form of t-shirts. He announced his first ever design on August 15th.
What is this design? What? Marijuana? Snake? Guitar? What is... I mean, he could have done something cool, like a snake wrapped around like the neck of the guitar, and then like it's smoking a blunt. That could have been cool. And why would you make the text the same color as the shirt? Terrible designing. Terrible.
16, and from then on, he made hundreds of designs, most of which used clip art stolen from Google Images. But even this wasn't enough to make up the difference, and as time went on, the idea that he could ever afford the doll seemed more and more distant. It is then that Josh caught a very lucky break, as a fan offered to give him a doll free of charge. Josh accepted the offer enthusiastically, and he received the doll on November 11th, announcing it to all of his fans on Facebook. Disturbingly, he named the doll Alyssa, which is a lot of affection for a used doll that was, according to him, of rather poor quality. However, soon after receiving the doll,
Hey man, one man's trash is another man's treasure, you know? And apply that to what you may.
he mangled it and threw the pieces into a dumpster, something he initially concealed from his audience. Instead, he claimed that
So I got up early to go job hunting, and when I got back to my place, the front door was unlocked, my sex doll was stolen, and I have already talked to the police about it, and they said that they will keep me informed. Feeling alone and sad right now. I'm going to make a vid about it.
and threw the pieces into a dumpster, something he initially concealed from his audience. Instead, he claimed that the doll had been stolen by some meth addicts who, for whatever reason, stole nothing else but his sex doll. No one believed him, which made him double down on the story. Eventually, though, he owned up to lying and admitted that he himself destroyed it, claiming he had done so after...
You scared the hell out of me. Somehow she heard me, because now I have hot pockets. So I guess I'm, you know, it all paid off. I can't hear shit with these headphones on though. I didn't realize she was standing there this whole time. Then all of a sudden I was like, something ain't right. There's hot pockets in this room. I can sense it.
Having relations with it one time.
Now, for starters, my homeboy Scotty had no idea what was going on with the lie. What I did was rather eerie, to say the least, yes, but
Is that
out
the
of
face?
sexual frustration.
Surprisingly, this led to a bit of
Out of sexual frustration. I would, if I was his girlfriend, I would have left too. Imagine you're mid-sex and bro's like, I'm gonna cut your face off. Like right before he nuts, he's like, I'm gonna cut your face off. And then like, you know, he gets that post-nut clarity. He's like, never mind. He goes to sleep. Like that'd be pretty fucking scary too.
mainstream media attention, with online news organizations like Unilad coming out to talk about the situation. Nonetheless, despite this latest hiccup, his dreams of getting a sex doll were not entirely gone, as he found a website where you could tailor-make your own doll. So, he decided to show what he had constructed, giving every detail, and then essentially leaving it up to his viewers to pay the cost, which was a bit over $2,000.
For the head, I would choose head 122, which is right there. Eye color, I would do, let's see what options they have. Oh look, green eyes, there we go. And wig number 8 is a long stand-up foot, gloves, and a regulator. Now the cost of this one is only $2,074.
While he wouldn't get this wish fulfilled in quite the way he wanted, he did receive a new doll. This one was also used, but it seems he was much happier with it, granting it the name Fun Size Felicia. This one ended up lasting a lot.
That's so problematic. That's Fun Size Felicia. That's so problematic on a lot of levels that I can't begin to unpack.
Longer than the first, although he wouldn't be able to keep it forever, as just a few months after getting it, he reported that he had accidentally melted its skin off by using the wrong kind of soap. Josh made a very drastic move.
What the fuck? What?
Sometime in early 2017, when he deleted almost every single video on his channel following getting a new PC from his family. If you look at his channel today, the earliest video you'll find is from February of 2017, where he talks about why he did the mass wipe.
Well, a lot of things on YouTube were giving me issues. The videos were not recording right, and on top of the videos not recording right, Photo Booth, which is the program that I use to record my YouTube videos, is also giving me issues, and I'm fed up with it. I got so fed up with it that I deleted all my videos. That's 3 years, okay? 3 long.
I'm starting not to like this, man. I'm starting not to like how much me and him have in common right now. Have a 3-year-old channel where he deleted all of his old videos. I ain't liking the story, man. This story's starting to hurt me.
Miserable years of YouTube content just deleted, gone. And a lot of people are not happy about this, but I look at this as an opportunity to help make my channel better.
Josh dressed this up as a rebirth for his channel, allowing him to grow out of the type of content he had been making and change for the better. In actuality, while his channel did see a rise in popularity, everything in his personal life continued to worsen. People began noticing just how rapidly Josh was aging due to his excessive consumption of tobacco and alcohol. As we move into 2017 onwards, this process is set on hyperdrive, which the audience gets to watch as he began live streaming very frequently on YouTube for hours on end each time.
There were 2 kinds of transgenders. You got...
Now, anyone that may be watching this out of context, I do not agree with anything he says. Okay? What he's about to say is completely out of my control. Alright?
The Blair Whites and the Jessica Unifs.
I thought that was Chris. Oh my god. Holy fuck. I thought that was Chris Sean. Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry. My lord.
That's the goddamn truth.
While his live streams got by far the most attention, his videos had a couple breakout successes, including a clip of him performing a magic trick. With this rebirth also came an influx of new cooking videos, which probably shaved off a decade of his life by themselves. This includes such culinary achievements as Cardinal Cherry Burger, which is a burger made with sandwich buns, bacon, cheese, peanut butter,
no more,
and chocolate-covered cherries.
Oh yeah. Bomb-ass cross-section.
But by far the most popular installment came...
Wait.
Cross-section.
Where's the bread? Where's the fuck? Where's the bread? Bro got
by
no
far
buns.
the most popular installment came out in 2018, titled Sushi Bacon Cheeseburger, and became
sounds
the
like it
fourth
could be
most
cool.
viewed video on his channel. The title speaks for itself as he cooks a bacon cheeseburger with sushi, soy sauce, and wasabi.
Maybe it could be cool.
That's not half bad, actually. That's pretty good. Although the sushi being a little bit warm on top of the burger kind of throws it off a bit. This is definitely a culture food mashup.
In 2018, he was given a wand designed by an artist, who gave the design away pretty much for free. Given Josh had been obsessed with the idea of making wands for years at that point, he jumped at the opportunity to start using it. This was around the time when Josh was employed at his new full-time job as a dishwasher. This is the first time in his life he's ever had an actual full-time...
Hey man, I'll be honest, when I worked as a cook, there was a guy, right? He was really cool. He did the dishwasher, but he only came in on the weekends. And so I basically had to do the dishwasher when he wasn't there. And I was like, man, I wish I was just washing the dishes and that was it. Because it was such an easy, it was such an easy job. Just put it in the little thing and put it under the little dishwasher. Sit it down, wait for it to stop, pick it up, put it out, right? Simple. I used to wish I had that job. Because that sucked. It sucked.
job, mind you, as his Wendy's gig had only been part-time. Regardless, he started producing the wands and then selling them on Etsy. The first test batch he made of around 10 wands that took him months to produce sold out in just 5 minutes. Judging by the listings on Etsy, it seemed the wands could run you anywhere from $24 to upwards of $200, which, considering their quality isn't anything to write home about, the price is most likely driven by the fact that Josh is the one who makes them. Regardless, the wands did bring him a decent amount of money. They were making enough money to where he left his job as a dishwasher, saying that he didn't have enough hours. Over the years, he produced over 400 of them, all of which have sold out. While we don't know how much he charged for all of them, based on the earlier example, it's fair to say he's made at least a few thousand. While that sounds like a lot of money, this is Josh we're talking about, and wasting money is the one thing that brings him true joy. In late 2019, he managed to blow through $1,000 in just 5 days, splitting his spending between Pizza Hut and expensive beers. It also doesn't help his spending habits that he's got multiple orbiter friends who, to put it nicely, are even bigger losers than.
When I get rich, I won't say nothing, but there'll be signs. Oh, there'll be signs.
He is, depending on him for things like fast food, alcohol, and cigarettes. One of these losers includes a literal furry called Steve.
Yo, what's up, Tubes? Chilling out with
This is exactly what I would hoped he'd look like. If you only said there was a guy named Steve that was a furry, this is what I imagined. And I'm so happy this is him.
Rapper Steve.
In 2018, fans saw
chilling out with Scrapper Steve.
In 2018, fans saw Josh indulging in a new addiction, spice. While it's unclear when he started, he mentioned trying it as far back as 2013, and he was presumed to be using it at least around 2016 by people on Reddit, with plenty of theories throughout 2017. But it wasn't until a year later that the theory started to hit a fever pitch, with videos like this one making the rounds. It was never confirmed whether he was smoking spice or not, but the idea persisted throughout the years, with many people blaming it for his visible loss of cognitive abilities, coupled with the fact his teeth started rotting off, and the fact he had...
What the... Ew!
Admitted to using it on several occasions, you can see why people reached this conclusion. Among other things, he ended up getting into a few more relationships. One was with another self-proclaimed furry called Summer, which lasted about 3 months. From what I gathered, he never actually got with her in any real way, meaning that his dry spell continued. This led him to try with another girl called Ellen, who was completely uninterested in him. He paid for their family's Christmas dinner with his YouTube money. He organized a charity stream for her benefit. At one point, he even invited her to a concert, offering to take the person who was her friends with benefits with them. He got ridiculed mercilessly for this with his...
At some point, you gotta put your pride. You gotta put your pride in front of everything else. Because what the fuck?
Fans calling him a simp. Sometime in 2019, Josh was doing his usual live stream when he heard a sudden knock on the door. When he opened it, a SWAT team barged into the apartment and detained him on the spot before combing through the rest of the place. In a video made shortly after the incident, Josh confirmed that he had been swatted, blaming his trolls for the attack. Luckily, nothing of note happened, besides him having to go outside for once to talk to the detective. However, the greatest tragedy of all struck a year later when his landlord complained that his wand making, along with all the other kinds of abuse he put his apartment through, was causing damage to the ceiling and the floor above.
I would like to personally thank the people who run this building. You've been very patient with me. I guess spray painting the wands indoors was a no-no amongst.
Okay, so I was like a little confused on why they said the wand making was the problem. So him spray painting it, he was like spray painting it like against the wall, like I don't know, like it got on the wall or something. That makes sense. Okay.
Other things. Man, I really like this apartment too, but unfortunately, YouTube, I'm being evicted. So for the next 30 days, if you don't see me on YouTube, you know, I'll be looking for a house or so. I'm not gonna lie, this really fucking sucks ass, dude.
All in all, Josh ended up causing about $6 grand worth of damage to his apartment. With the help of his dad, he had to clean up the apartment before getting evicted. And by that, I mean that Clint did all of the actual work, while Josh sat on the toilet and ordered more takeout, as is tradition. Eventually, he found a new place, which cost him around $600 a month.
You know, I've come to realize, right? I remember someone saying that like everyone has an addiction to something. I realize my addiction is honestly food. Like I'm honestly addicted to food. Like I realize I will honestly just eat to eat or eat to do something. It's a problem, man. I got work on it. I mean, not today, but maybe tomorrow.
For the time being, he would stay there, continuing his wand production line without any changes. Most of the customers for his wand business were wealthy trolls willing to shell out to keep their pet cow afloat, only to watch Cobra splurge all of it in horrid, inedible slop. However, there was at least one customer who, aside from just one...
What did I say? Baking egg noodle burger. That could be cool. I mean, it's just really a regular like bacon cheeseburger with an egg on it with some noodles. Could be cool.
In horrid, inedible slop. However, there was at least one customer who, aside from just wanting to give him money, actually wanted one of these handcrafted sticks. This lady paid him about $250 for a wand set, which she never got. Eventually, she filed a refund request with Etsy, which Josh simply never responded to. This led to Josh's Etsy page being taken down completely, with Etsy giving the lady a refund out of pocket, which made Josh indebted to them. Josh made a few videos addressing the situation, where he argued it must have been an issue with the mailing company to exonerate himself, and offered to resend the wands to her with a tracking number, saying that the $250 refund was a bit out of his price range. The customer eventually agreed to this offer, which reinstated his career as a wand craftsman. Coincidentally, this period would also see him having trouble with his other major source of revenue, Teespring. As mentioned before, Josh started selling t-shirts many years ago, most of which consisted of stolen designs from Google.
That t-shirt could be cool, and okay.
Surprisingly, this went pretty unnoticed by the platform. That is, until one of his shirts was struck down due to using a copyrighted image. This caused his account to be temporarily suspended. Then, he uploaded a new design, which also got flagged down within hours, meaning the jig was up, and he had to start making his own designs or risk losing his operation. To circumvent this, he moved his t-shirt selling operation away from Teespring, and now he sells designs on customizedgirl.com. He hasn't been flagged for copyright since. Not that these new designs exactly scream originality. 2021 was a unique year in more ways than one. While he'd already achieved the title of lolcow long before, with his thread being over 60 pages long, it was in 2021 when he truly blew up, becoming one of the most infamous lolcows across the internet. Honestly, the sheer amount of memes...
I know that guy. I said that guy's name earlier. I know him.
Sagas he's been involved in is kind of difficult to fathom. There are entire YouTube channels dedicated to documenting and chronicling the entire story of King Cobra JFS, including the largest singular source for this whole video, Bite-Sized Cobra Vids. Memorable moments include his second attempt at dyeing his hair, which ended up even worse than the first one, as well as his greatest culinary achievement, the cat food Big Mac. A more recent saga saw our protagonist getting a bearded dragon.
I mean, cat food's just tuna, right? Isn't that just tuna? I mean... I imagine there's like some other stuff in there, but if it's just tuna, then...
Whom he named Puff. He received it as a gift from a friend who had to leave the lizard behind after moving into a new place. Josh quickly fell in love, making Puff a recurring character throughout his videos. The Diddy
lizard?
Puff loves the leather futon.
But while there was some novelty to seeing Josh excited about a living creature, people showed concern over his ability to care for the animal, given he can barely even care for himself. It wasn't helped by the fact he admitted to putting its health at risk by doing things like this.
If I'm smoking marijuana, Puff will kind of look up like, hey man, give me a hit of that. So I'll take a fucking huge ass hit of weed, and I'll blow it into his tank. 1 or 2 hits, he's good. He doesn't need a whole lot.
This led to a concerted effort on the side of his viewers to get Puff safely away from him. They contacted Metro Animal Control, which came in to do a wellness check. Josh posted about this on his Facebook, where he claimed, among other things, that the lady from Metro determined he was taking better care of it than 90% of people. A second visit was made to the residence, after which Josh declared victory over the trolls, as the Metro people confirmed he would not be getting any more visits.
They were threatening to get Puff taken away from me.
I mean, if they decide that like, I'm assuming they showed him the clips of him saying that he blows smoke in it. So I assume that was enough for them to be like, yeah, they're still good.
Didn't work. Maybe they
Cool
want to
beans.
rethink their life and go, what am I doing with my life? Harassing an autistic young adult and his bearded dragon because I can't stand how happy Puff makes Cobra. So yeah, he's not getting taken away.
Notice he's talking about Puff while having a Puff bar in his hand. Pretty neat.
In good hands.
When the dust settled and the excitement of a new pet vanished, Josh veered away from including Puff in his videos, as his focus was now on brewing mead. This led to some people believing Puff had died in the meantime. Josh did debunk this with some sparser update videos, where the lizard looked fine. Sadly, not long after this last update video, Josh broke the news that Puff had escaped. As the story goes, he was outside smoking with Puff on his shoulder when it suddenly jumped off and ran away, with Josh unable to catch him. The announcement was made on the 16th of November, when the temperatures in Casper, Wyoming went just below freezing. Given that reptiles are cold-blooded, it's unlikely Puff would randomly choose to run outside into the cold as opposed to running inside where it's warm. It's even less likely he would have the energy to escape from Josh, who, despite looking older than his father at this point, should have no trouble catching it.
What
as
is
odd
his
as the
father doing
circumstances
right now?
are, we never got a
We need an update on what Clint's doing. Also, I wonder if the mom ever comes back, because I realize we have not, probably not. We got like 3 minutes left. There's no way the mom's gonna show up again.
resolution to what happened to the lizard, but it's fair to say very few people believe Josh's side of the story. Only a month later, while live streaming, Josh received a call from his dad, who warned him that he was being swatted again, with the claim being that Josh had been waving a gun around. This time, the attempt was traced back to his subreddit, where people were very unhappy about a joke he'd made about Amy Schumer. When the live stream was interrupted, these same Redditors celebrated. I mentioned mead earlier because around this time, Josh started crafting his own homemade alcohol, presumably due to the fact he didn't have enough money to feed his habit. He started this hobby on August 26, 2020.
I mean, wait, who wasn't it? Whack, he makes mead, you know. I mean, it seems like a pretty neat hobby if you got the patience. I watched a Netflix show. It was about how like they were opening the doors to prison cells. It was like, I forgot what it was called, but the guy was making like toilet wine. I feel like you should be able to make toilet wine in prison. You know what I mean? They gotta craft that shit. They gotta become alchemists to make prison wine. You know, you could at least let them keep it. You know what I mean?
3, announcing his plan in a video where he showed the process of making it and all the ingredients, including juice, yeast, and sugar. Despite his acknowledgement that you're supposed to let homemade wine sit for at least 2 weeks in the dark, this is Josh we're talking about, so he tried his new drink about 9 days after the first video.
Divosia. That definitely tastes like alcohol. I ain't gonna stunt.
Since then, his alcohol production has only ramped up, and he's been giving regular updates every time he makes a new batch, having started his newest one just over a month ago as of me writing this video. Other than that, he's continued his desperate hunt for love. Recently, this has led him into the loving arms of a very special woman, Jessica. Jessica, also known as Queen Cobra, is a minor YouTube personality, though her current YouTube channel—
She's a minor? Well, Josh, I'm disgusted.
is pretty recent. Her original YouTube channel, Naked and Laughing, was created over 7 years ago. Though there are very few archives, her initial content was pretty PG, especially compared to her recent stuff. Although it is worth noting that at some point she had a stint as a cam girl.
Begging.
With some videos surviving to this day. Jessica enters the story sometime in January 2024, when she starts talking about cobes. She voiced her deep desire to finally end his dry spell. She took a note from Josh and made a GoFundMe, promising to fly to Casper and meet with him, where she asked for $900. She even went—
I mean, if she's a real woman, well, I mean, I guess we see videos of her, but like if this is like real, not troll, I mean, I guess she's real for that, I guess.
as far as to put her Cash App there. The GoFundMe was taken down, but she continued to express interest in live streams. But things took a turn after she allegedly sent nude pictures to someone else. For a while, it seemed this would be the end of this saga, but then in February, Jessica finally went to Casper to visit him, and she finally put an end to Josh's almost 6-year dry spell.
We're too busy having sex right now. Sorry.
Other than his mead venture, Josh has stayed pretty static, with the only thing that's progressed being his bald spot, which he's become increasingly self-conscious about. His cognitive abilities continue.
You know, my father, he's bald. You know, there's a chance that this luscious hair may be gone one day, unless I adopted all my mother's genes. You know, there's a chance that this will be all gone. I'll be bald. He's bald!
Which had evolved, causing him to slur and mumble to where he's borderline incoherent at times, likely due to brain damage. He was recently handed another eviction notice and has been missing in action on both YouTube and Facebook. According to Kiwi Tapes, he's since moved back in with his dad, who has forbade him from going live whilst there. The future of Cobra's content is uncertain. Cobes is another example of a slow burn lolcow, without bombastic incidents taking place every couple of months, but instead a steady supply of ridiculous moments over the course of hundreds and hundreds of hours of slop. He's kind of like DSP in that his identity was shaped by a forgotten time period that he never successfully grew out of. Josh is one of the few cows who, despite being exactly the kind of person you don't want to hang around IRL for too long, he's actually easy to empathize with. Not overly toxic, mostly just a goofball that seems like he got cryogenically.
I was about to say, it seems like I don't know, I feel like he's getting like some pretty weird treatment for someone that doesn't really do all that much. Unfortunately, I feel like swatting is kind of like a big problem for the internet. I feel like you get swatted for almost anything. But he seems like a pretty chill dude. He hasn't done nothing like crazy bad. I mean, at least he didn't do anything with children, so, you know, that's a plus.
Frozen in 2004 and just recently got unthawed. I've been Turkey Tom. Thanks for watching, and until next time.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. You have done me a great service.